So I've reviewed Batman the Animated Series before, and I love that series. One of the greatest animated shows ever made of all time. And I believe I reviewed the movie's Mask of the Phantasm Sub-Zero. I'm pretty dead sure I did that. So yeah, I'm a big fan of the series. Um, so when they announced Batman Beyond on Blu-ray, I knew I had to get it at some point, and I finally got it, and I watched it all through all three seasons. Now I haven't watched Return of the Joker yet. That's gonna be a separate movie or review, so stay tuned for that. This show was incredible. Um, Now it's not on the same level as Batman the Animated Series because, frankly, there's very few shows that will ever top it. We're talking about a show that was scored minute to minute, had amazing voice acting, and used Batman's rogue gallery very well. This show doesn't really do that. It doesn't really use Batman's rogue gallery. Now, there's a few characters that show up from classic Batman stories. Like you get Mr. Freeze, mostly because he was a fan favorite for the creators, and a just a favorite for the fans too. Everybody loved Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze in Batman the Animated Series was so good that the comic book version and the movie version both took influence from him, for better or for worse, because Arnold Schwarzenegger is Mr. Freeze. But comic book version basically became Batman the Animated Series version of Mr. Freeze, and it made him more of a popular character than he ever was before. He never was that really big Batman character, but now he is kind of. He's not ever gonna top like Harley Quinn, the Joker, Deathstroke, Red Hood, or things like that. But he's still like amazing, and it shows you how much potential that character really had, but they never reached it, which was unfortunate. Uh, until Batman animated series came out, and then they did reach it. But so they what this show is about is after the events of Batman the animated series, Bruce Wayne. The show is set in the future. We have Bruce Wayne, who is now retired and old and grumpy. Because what else would an old Bruce Wayne be? And he trains a new Batman, Terrence McGinnis, to be Batman, and this is it, and it does follow along with the Batman story. Uh, After Batman made series, you see older Batgirl and things like that, and what I love about this concept is it's ripe for so much potential, but also we don't get a lot of what actually happened. There's no flashbacks that tell us, hey, what happened to Robin? Because that would be the main question, right? What happened to Nightwing or his other Robin he was training? What happened to, um, it's assumed Commissioner Gordon died, but why did Batgirl have this grudge against Batman? There's an episode where they kind of explain it, but they really just hint at it. They barely say anything. And I think they probably would have done more flashbacks if it wouldn't been the fact that when the show was made, they had to deal with the not a lot of executives not allowing them to connect things to other shows like that because, well, it's just because back in the day, a lot of TV networks would say, no, that's too confusing for children. Now we can do like really good story driven shows like Avatar and things like that. But when this show came out, there weren't like many shows like that being able to, um, tell stories like that. But I think this is perfect because, there's a saying like your imagination is better than anything else that they could have put on the screen. And I think that's great. I think I love that idea. Also, the animation here is gorgeous. The world is fascinating, cool. But um, yeah, and so like I said, there's not a lot of Batman's rogue gallery, so we got to see a lot of new Batman villains that were kind of one off. Some were cool, they were kind of hit or miss, but they were still good. They were still fun. and they were great Batman stories, and and it's cool to see like a different version of Batman. I think they were able to do a lot more with this world. I think season three though was my real point where I was like, okay, this show kind of lost it. I was like, really? There's only three seasons, not four, like Batman animated series. But I watched it and I was like, oh, I get why. Season two had about 26 episodes. Season one had 13, and then season three had 13. So they went down, and on an episode count compared to season two, and a lot of the episodes were like weird stories. And the other thing about them is they weren't focused on Terrace or Bruce Wayne. So these are the two characters we should be focusing on for the most part, and they really didn't do that, which is like, you probably so they're kind of lame episodes. They weren't terrible. I don't think there's a single episode in the show that I would say is straight up terrible. It's just weaker ones. By weaker, I mean comparison to the other episodes. But yeah, it's a really unique version of Batman. I would love to see them do like an Into the Spider Verse style animated movie with Batman Beyond. That's how I think they should bring him back. But either way, I'm just happy we got a great show like this. It was a cool concept. It's ripe for possibilities. I feel like they need to do more with him in the comics, in the movies, in TV shows. They should just do more with Batman Beyond because, frankly, this character and this world is just ripe for so much more than what is given here in this series. Like, it's a good run, but it could have gone on for seasons upon seasons, honestly. I don't know. But I'm just happy we got what we got. And it's definitely worth the watch if you've never seen it, if you're a Batman fan. I've heard the Return of the Joker movie is very good, but I haven't gotten to that point. I'm going to check out that movie pretty soon. Stay tuned for Home Alone 2 review coming later. Stay tuned for Lego Star Wars Holiday Special on Disney Plus coming out Tuesday. I'll be reviewing that. Also, I will also be, because it's a lot of alsos. I'll also be reviewing The Wonderful World of. Can I not speak today? The Wonderful World of Mickey Mouse. That series is dropping Wednesday, and if you're wondering why it's Wednesday, it's because Tuesday they drop the holiday special because it's Life Day, and Life Day there was an original like 1970s holiday special, and so they're gonna drop it then so you can watch it on Life Day when it's actually celebrated in Star Wars, and Mickey Mouse is being dropped on Mickey Mouse's birthday, so you can watch a few shorts or episodes or whatever, and then you can check out the series, and then they'll put more up on Friday. So we got Mandalorian Season 2, Wonderful World of Mickey Mouse, and we got, what have we got? I'm trying to think of it. Man, I'm going blank. The Right Stuff Episode 8 coming out. So, yeah, a great amount of content coming to Disney Plus this week. Lots of reviews coming your way. Other things I'll be talking about in other videos and stuff. So stay tuned for all that coming your way.